Explaining the reason for forming the action group, Obafemi Awolowo told his listeners that both inside and outside the NCNC, anybody who appeared to be a threat to Azikiwe's reign was mowed down like grass. It is not difficult to surmise the intentions of Azikiwe and his NCNC press. They were engaged in a calculated effort to frighten away decent citizens from public life, to collect a motley crowd of degreed mediocrity and lackeys, the Orizus, the Mbadiwes, the Ojikes, eating out of Azikiwe's hands, and thus to pave the way for a dictatorship by Azikiwe. The situation became too serious to be ignored, for unless the best brains in all parts of the country were afforded through a well-organized political party, the country will fall into the hands of well-organized brigands, ignorant and unprincipled demagogues, peddling nationalism for the sake of their stomachs. I approve. Papa was right. Azikiwe's strategy. Again, God bless Nigeria, happy independence to everybody, but let's not make it look as if history should be forgotten, especially when folks who should be covering their faces in shame choose to insult Awo and tell you people that they have done something that we've never done. Since the late 40s, especially in the early 50s, the person who has championed the idea of unitary system most in Nigeria was Azikiwe, and his dream was accomplished about 15 years later in 1966. And the way he moved also was to ensure the dominance of his own ethnicity. And then they turned around and called you tribalists. The action group emerged between 1950 and 1952 as the best organized party. It also had a newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, which was owned and for a while edited by Obafemi Awolowo. Even at this early stage, Obafemi Awolowo made sure effective control of the party was in his hands. He deliberately shunned Lagos because he regarded the place as a hotbed of intrigues and blackmail. Ibadan then became the focal point of politics in the western region, which still regarded Lagos as an integral part of itself. Thus, the defeat of the NCNC by the Action Group in the first post-McPherson election in 1951 marked the triumph of party organization, regionalism, and federalism over the loosely articulated New Africa creed of Azikiwe and the NCNC's commitments to unitary government. So, two things you heard there: New Africa, unitary government. And in case you were not here when we talked about it, make no mistakes, what Iransi did in 1966, he did not do alone. There was an Nwokedi report, even though he was the only person who said they should have a unitary system, was Igbo. The people that worked with him in the political party at the time, they were Igbo. The idea of unitary system predated himself even becoming the GOC in the early 60s. So it just tells you that all this commitment of the NCNC to unitary government stuff was actually something that he had put inside people. Again, the book is Laluki Akintola, His Life and Works by Akinjide Oshotokun. The McPherson Constitution was a bold attempt to democratize the organs of government and to involve Nigerians in this effort. Detractors of the Action Group said their defeat was a triumph of tribalism, ethnicism, and vote buying over commitment to unity and early independence. There were elements of truth in all this. There is no doubt that the Action Group as a party was well financed and that the efficient party machine was well served by its connection with traditional Yoruba leadership. The victory of the Action Group in the West, however, had great political ramifications. The NCNC could no longer claim it represented the political aspirations of all Nigerians. This break in the nationalist ranks was partly caused by Nnamdi Azikiwe himself. His undisguised campaign for Igbo primacy in Nigeria through sensationalist reporting of Igbo triumphs, whether on the field of play at a soccer match or far away in America or England, served to detract from his national following, especially when he failed to report Yoruba or Hausa Fulani triumphs in these areas. While his paper served to inspire the Igbo people to catch up with the educationally more advanced Yoruba, it unintentionally succeeded in creating a siege mentality among the Yoruba, which Obafemi Awolowo and his Action Group exploited.